for first, the highlights. Lagos State government calls for cleanliness amongst residents ahead Eid al-Fitr celebration. Police Recruitment Board fixes date for practical test, medical screening for specialist applicants. On the foreign scene, Russian authorities call for evacuation as flooding spreads. And in sport, World Netball bans transgender women from international competitions. Now the details. I am Taiwo Baruwa. The Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps, LAGESC, has encouraged residents to embrace proper environmental practices and obey the state environmental laws ahead of the Eid al-Fitr festivities, which usually marks the end of the Ramadan fast by Muslim faithful around the world. Corps Marshal of the agency, Olani Cole, made the call at the agency's command headquarters at Boladi Oshodi. Cole also admonished Lagosians to make proper use of pedestrian bridges for their safety instead of crossing highways to prevent hit and run incidents by speeding motorists. In the same vein, he read the Riot Act to miscreant in the habit of converting pedestrian bridges, pledging that anyone caught would be made to face the wrath of the law. The Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, has felicitated with Muslims across the state as they join other faithful globally in celebrating the Eid al-Fitr, which marks the successful completion of the Ramadan fast. General Manager of LASMA, Olaliko Bakari, urged all Muslims to imbibe the practice and virtue of kindness, love, tolerance, peace, self-denial, sacrifice, and good neighborliness, as exemplified by the Holy Prophet Muhammad. Bakari said LASMA had begun vigorous public enlightenment campaign programs at motor parks, garages, for drivers to adhere strictly to all traffic regulations and for passengers to know their rights by cautioning drivers when they attempt to drive against traffic, which is one way. He maintained that LASMA officials would be at their lawful duty post, managing and controlling traffic before, during, and after the Eid al-Fitr celebrations across the state. The Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service has acted swiftly in response to a significant fire outbreak originating from a three-story building situated at Jankara Street, adjacent to Semu Street on Lagos Island. In a statement, Director of the service, Margaret Adesheye, said the agency was alerted promptly at 10:37 a.m. on Tuesday, and firefighting operations have been mobilized to contain the spreading inferno, which has already impacted adjacent structures on the Semu and Nnamdi Azikiwe streets. Adesheye said progress has been made in partially subduing the blaze as ongoing efforts are focused to completely extinguish the fire. She noted that the firefighting operations face additional challenges due to the necessity of ensuring the safe evacuation of traders and the preservation of their merchandise within a densely populated area, necessitating rigorous crowd control and measures. The Fire Service Director added that there have been no reported casualties and investigations into the cause of the fire are actively underway. Now to the rest of the stories. The Police Recruitment Board has fixed April 16 for practical test medical screening of a specialist applicant in the ongoing recruitment of constables into the Nigerian police force. These tests will run concurrently with the medical screening of general duty applicant and specialist, which had earlier been scheduled to start on April 16 and would last 2 weeks. Spokesperson of the Police Service Commission, Ikechukwu Ani, said applicants are expected to be tested in various fields, including band, carpentry, communication, driving, electrical, information technology, and marine technology, among others. And he noted that the practical tests have been scheduled to hold at 20 locations nationwide, which are the 17 zonal command headquarters and Kaduna, Yobe, and Zamfara State Command headquarters. And Katsina State Government has declared its readiness to manage approaching natural disasters and flooding that may be occasioned by the impending rainy season. Commissioner for the Environment, Musa Fontua, who gave the assurance, noted that ongoing construction works designed to tackle natural disasters and environmental challenges are nearing completion, while some are awaiting inauguration by the governor of the state. Fontua also announced the establishment of the Department of New Climate Change to handle several climate change challenges and climate policies, including 16,000 hectares for 3 planting support for farmers, community livelihood, bush work, and dry season farming engagement. And foreign news now: flood sirens blurred out in 2 Russian cities today, warning thousands more people to evacuate immediately as 2 major rivers swelled to bursting point in some of the worst flooding in at least 70 years. Authorities say swiftly melting snow across swathes of the Ural Mountain and Siberia has swelled some of the biggest rivers, which surge across the wilds of Russia. They also say at least 10,500 homes have been recorded as flooded so far, and many thousands more are at risk. In sport now, World Netball has banned transgender women from competing in women's international competitions. The ban comes in with immediate effect after the global governing body released a new participation and inclusion policy. It said women's netball at international level will now be restricted to players recorded as female at birth, irrespective of gender identity, and transgender athletes who can demonstrate to World Netball's satisfaction and have not experienced the biological effects of testosterone at any time. World Netball also said national governing bodies could choose to modify or even not apply these guidelines if they decided to base their participation rules on other factors. And that's it on the news at 4. But just before we go, please do not drive beyond specified speed limit. You can follow us and like all of various social media platforms: X, Traffic Radio 961, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website at trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration organized a forum for women across the 57 local government and local council development areas in the state with a view to enhancing their productivity and economic growth? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps, LAGESC, has encouraged residents to embrace proper environmental practices and obey the state environmental laws ahead of the Eid al-Fitr festivities, which usually marks the end of the Ramadan fast by Muslim faithful around the world. The Police Recruitment Board has fixed April 16 for practical test and medical screening of specialist applicants in the ongoing recruitment of constables into the Nigerian police force. We also told you that flood siren blurred out in 2 Russian cities today, warning thousands more people to evacuate immediately as 2 major rivers swelled to bursting point in some of the worst flooding in at least 70 years. And finally, in sport now, World Netball has banned transgender women from competing in women's international competitions. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Adewale Oluporoku. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon.
One dial that gets you locked down all day, all time with that traffic report just as and when you want it. With great music and lots more. Lagos Traffic Radio, your driving companion.
Driver, I beg, I won't come down before you reach that bridge. You don't take me past that bridge.
Driver, me too, I want to come.